Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So you may or may not have been waiting for my Take 2 review on ColourPop's pressed eyeshadows, and if you've not checked it out, you can watch my first review when they released their pressed eyeshadows in the form of the Weekend Warrior palette. I wasn't so impressed with it because the colour range in here was just not my cup of tea. When you blend them out on your eyes, it more or less looks the same, so although it does give a nice smoky eye effect, it kind of looks like a black eye too. And this palette isn't something you'd reach for on a day-to-day basis. Nevertheless, I ordered half of the pressed eyeshadows that they released on the launch day, and for some reason the processing and shipping time took extra long, and so I only finally received my products recently, so I got down to swatching them and trying them out. So the pressed eyeshadows do come in these single pans, and they are apparently the same size as MAC and Makeup Geek's. You can definitely place them on a Z palette because they have a metal pan and it's magnetic. So one thing that I noticed that is quite shady is that the packets say that they are 1.2 grams, but the pan itself says that they are 1.0 grams. And then if you get the sets, they say that it is 1.4 grams, but if you look into the individual pans in the set, you'd notice that it is also 1.0 grams. My just-in-time shade over here says that it has 1.2 grams, so seriously ColourPop, is it 1.2 or 1.4 grams? I seriously feel like smashing one of these pans to find out just how much we are getting, because also the price is a total rip-off because these are $5 a piece, and if it is 1 gram, then Makeup Geek and MAC have a better price point. So enough of that, let's zoom you guys in to see some packaging and swatches. The high maintenance set comes in a mint or teal green sleeve with the shade names at the back. The palette itself is decorated with stars and there is no mirror inside. You can pop the shadows out to replace them with other shades, and you can also remove the entire placeholder to fit up to 10 shadows. Just in Time is a set in soft gold and applies very smooth and creamy with a finger. High Strung is a metallic dusty rose and it is also very smooth, creamy and pigmented. Get Out is a matte cool cranberry and it is fairly pigmented. Cute Alert is a matte deep burgundy that is slightly patchy and not as pigmented. It has a drier texture as well, so it doesn't spread as easily. With a brush, Just in Time and High Strung do not really show up. They have a sheerer wash of color and would make good highlights with a brush, so if you'd like more pigmentation, then apply them directly with a finger. Get Out applied very pigmented and smooth with the brush, but it was a bit patchy. Cute Alert is still quite sheer and hard to spread. It had to be layered a bit, which resulted in a patchy swatch. The individual shadows come in these packets with stars all over, which is very pretty. There is a cutout on both the front and back for the shade and name, and the pan is housed in a plastic container. I have 13 single shadows and I've already arranged them in sets, so I'll swatch them as so. Let Me Explain is a metallic ivory that goes on very smooth, creamy and pigmented. Made to Last is a matte neutral mauve that looks like a brown in all honesty. It has a very creamy and smooth texture. Come and Get It is a duochrome rose with a gold flip that applied equally well. And Stay Golden is a matte raspberry. It has a drier texture, but it is quite pigmented and easy to layer. With a brush, Let Me Explain becomes a diffused highlight. Made to Last applies smooth, but it's kind of a light transition shade. Come and Get It does not apply well with the brush, and Stay Golden has a very pigmented, even and smooth application with a brush. You Know the Drill is a metallic bronze that is very pigmented, smooth and creamy. Bel Air is a matte cool taupe with a creamy and smooth texture. Popular Demand is a matte red brown that has a drier texture and does not spread well. Cloud 9 is a matte plummy brown that also has a dry texture and does not spread easily. With a brush, You Know the Drill does not really show up. Bel Air applies smooth and evenly, but it is a light shade. Popular Demand and Cloud 9 are a bit patchy and hard to work with because they do not spread and blend easily. You can also see that a lot of the matte shades have kicked back, and it is quite annoying because I like my palettes to be kept clean. Lioele is a metallic pale pink with a sheer wash of color, easy to apply as usual. Wake Up Call is a matte warm sand that is creamy and smooth. Backseat is a metallic deepened aquamarine that doesn't swatch and apply well. It seems to lack pigmentation. Silver Lining is a matte dusty purple and it has a dry texture that doesn't swatch well also. It is not as pigmented as it looks on the pan. With a brush, Lioele doesn't show up. Wake Up Call has a smooth and even application. Backseat hardly shows up too. And Silver Lining applies more pigmented with the brush but takes a bit of layering. Lost and Found is a matte sky blue that applies sheer and light. It is easy to spread and does not appear patchy. With a brush, it applies pigmented and smooth. So I decided to play around with the high maintenance palette, and this is the look that I created. It is a very simple, basic kind of look where I used all 4 of the shadows, and I must say that I quite like the colors in here. They are very warm, pinky burgundy kind of colors, and that is totally up my alley. I think this look would be great for Valentine's Day too, since it is so in the theme of reds and pinks. So from the swatches, I did notice that the formulas were quite inconsistent. Some of the matte shades were very creamy and easy to spread and blend, while others felt a bit dry and chalky and not so pigmented. But when you apply it with a brush, they turned out to be quite okay. And a damp brush will definitely bring out the colors and make application smoother, so that is something you can do instead. The shimmers are gorgeous when applied with a finger. They are so smooth and creamy, but they do not apply so well with a brush if you are intending to pack it on. But if you just want like a little highlight color, then a brush would do the trick. So I really do not know why YouTubers or other bloggers rave about these eyeshadows when they are just average, in my opinion, because some of them really aren't so pigmented. Now I must say that the metallic shades are not extremely shimmery or whatever, they are average. I mean, my Makeup Revolution eyeshadows are as shimmery as these metallic eyeshadows, so they are no big deal, but they are creamy and smooth and you only need a tiny little bit to get pigment. Honestly, the matte shades are no big deal to me as well. I mean, yes, they are pigmented and you can probably work with them on your eyes, but they do kick back and I do not like my palettes to get dirty with eyeshadows, so I do not appreciate this kind of unnecessary mess. Also, the price point for these are a huge no. I mean, their pans do seem thick and heavy, but you really do not know how much you are getting unless you break it apart. I don't mean to sound too negative in this review, it's just that these eyeshadows were so highly raved by all the YouTubers and bloggers that got their PR packaging, and to me, I find them to be just average eyeshadows. There's really nothing special about them, unlike their Super Shock shadow formulas, which are great. Like, if there's nothing stellar about your product, you shouldn't be marking it up so high. But if you are a die-hard ColourPop fan, then yep, I am a sucker for their packaging, so they have got me weak over there. In the meantime, those are my overall thoughts on this product. Do let me know if you agree or disagree with me. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you soon in my next one. Bye!